So today I thought I would bring you guys along to one of my favorite neighborhoods in Tokyo. I definitely want to hit the park because I feel like I'm very much due for a little nature walk. I also think we can maybe have a look at some of the secondhand stores because if you are going to consume, you might as well consume secondhand items. And a lot of you may know this already, but Tokyo is very famous for their elite secondhand shopping. Okay, we really gotta go because we're about to miss our bus. Do you have your bags packed? Because we gotta go. So the first thing I did was get off the bus at Sunroad Iriguchi. And my first stop was Modoff. Now, Modoff is a pretty popular secondhand store here in Tokyo. It's got a variety of clothes. This particular store had a lot of designer options, which, Miss Girl, no way. I did try on this skirt, but I was not feeling it. Kichijoji neighborhood itself is actually really cute. I walked over to Treasure Factory, which is another secondhand store. This particular one is right next to the station, and it has a lot of options. I would argue too many options because I got way too overwhelmed and again, did not buy anything. I then meandered on over to Inokashira Park, which I actually have never been to, so that was nice to check it out. I saw this little guy. Hey, what's up?
What is that?
I don't think he liked me very much. Now we're gonna delve into this a bit more, but I did actually go to the Aquatic Life Park, which is located within Inokashira Park.
He needs some milk.
This section mainly had fish, other aquatic animals, amphibians, reptiles, the whole thing. Okay, so if you couldn't tell by those clips and by the sound of birds around me, I am currently at the zoo in the Inokashira Park. I'm having a bit of trouble with this because basically the zoo is split up into two parts. There's an aquatic life house, which is basically just fish and turtles, which I will include clips here because that's basically the only place that I really wanted to go. But I didn't know that when you bought a ticket for that exhibit, you also will get a ticket for the main zoo. Now, I had no intention of going to the main zoo. I actually still haven't been. I'm still on the other side of the park. But I think this is actually a good moment to talk about the issues of zoos. Now, as an animal lover, I love seeing animals, and I've always struggled with the concept of whether or not zoos are ethical or not. If I'm being completely honest, I've only been here for 20 minutes or so, and I don't know if I can say that this is the most ethical, but let's explore this idea a little bit. So my intention was just to see the aquatic animals because I guess it's less likely that they're going to be kept in really awful conditions. In saying that, this park does have a lot of endemic species, which is good. It's not like they're importing a lot of different animals from all over the world. They are mainly showcasing endemic animals. I think zoos can be a place of education, which is great. That's obviously great if we have endangered species that are going extinct, and they're carrying out breeding programs. There was a sign saying that they did actually have their first ever breeding program for the then endangered Daruma frog. So that's good. I think that's a plus. However, I haven't gone over to the other side of the park yet, but I can see from the map that they have penguins, and they used to have an elephant which passed away in 2016. If I'm being honest, I am not going to go to that side of the park because I don't really want to see larger animals kept in conditions that maybe they shouldn't be kept in. And I understand that I did buy a ticket, and so in theory, I have contributed, I guess, a fraction to funding this park. But would I recommend this zoo to tourists or people who have never been here before? Absolutely not. In saying that, I have definitely been to zoos where conservation is the main focal point, and they do a really amazing job. The San Diego Safari Park is one great example. They literally have a whole space dedicated to replicating the safari, and they care so much for their animals. They have amazing breeding programs, but normally in big cities, they don't have the facilities to house these animals. I can totally see why this may look hypocritical because I'm all about conservation and sustainability, and I've just bought a ticket to come here. In saying that, I did think that I was only coming to the Aquatic Life Park. So that's something for you guys to know. If that was your intention, just know that you are getting a ticket for the other zoo as well. After this little trip, I'm going to go home and write the park an email and see if there's anything that they can do to upgrade their facilities or just open up a line of dialogue. I think that's really important. I think when you disagree with something or see something that could be changed, you should try and do that. I'm not going to let this ruin the day though. I think we're still going to sit out in the public park and have a little read and just try and ground ourselves once again. I must say it was cool to see the endangered Japanese salamander, which they do have here. And he looks like he's not in the worst condition, so that's good. But yeah, I just thought I would share these thoughts because as an animal lover, maybe some of you guys can relate to this. We obviously love seeing animals, but it's not always the most ethical choice when you're in a situation like this. And I thought I would be open and honest instead of trying to hide that. I did leave the zoo very shortly after, but I really couldn't get it out of my head. I think ex situ conservation can be done ethically. However, I don't think Inokashira Zoo is the perfect example of this. I mean, the zoo's located smack in the middle of the city. It just doesn't seem like the right environment for a penguin to be living in, especially during the summer seasons. Oh my gosh. Also, one of the main goals for today was to have a nature walk and feel reconnected with nature. However, as you can tell, Inokashira Park is incredibly busy. So next time, I am going to do a proper hike. So keep an eye out for that because it is happening. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you a bit of an idea of what to do in Kichijoji, or what not to do for that matter. I hope you guys like this video. I will see you in the next one.
Ayy, I got the recipe, never gonna let any op get the best of me. Thought it was distance, but haters is next to me.